from Wisdomia Television, and thank you for joining us again today on News Review. And if this is your first time, this is where we'll analyze several stories that has made it to the top of the headline. We'll give our own opinion and we'll leave you to do that too. So you can join the conversation on Facebook with our comment section, or on Instagram or TikTok or YouTube. You subscribe to our channel and follow the conversation. Don't forget on Twitter too at @wisdom. So with the hashtag News Review, and we'll sure drop, read out your comments and give our own opinion on that. So today I have with me on the studio Mofi Foluwa Adeleke. Thank you very much for joining me.
Adeleke, you're welcome.
What did I say?
You said Adeleke.
Oh, I don't know. I just fell in love with the Adeleke recently.
Yeah, I'm from Oshustebo. I am Adeleke.
Oh.
And I'm wishing us a month of perfect testimony. Amen.
Amen.
Happy New Month to everybody.
Yeah. So this month, before the beginning of this month, at least in the last days of last month, we saw what happened after the declaration by President Bola Tinubu that we should say a goodbye to full subsidy in Nigeria, which is supposed to give us joy. It brought us a lot of sadness because that led to the hiking of prices of food in the major parts of the country, or let me say every part of the country. And for that reason, people have been saying they are regretting the administration that has not even started, not even up to a week. And there are some people that are saying that is a good thing. We need to suffer to be able to enjoy at last, because once the subsidy is affirmed upon, then we are looking forward to the light at the end of the tunnel. So if you are also part of those people looking out for the light at the end of the tunnel, then we should relax and be taken care of. Though it will be hard and tough from the beginning, but that does not mean the end would not be better. Exactly. So still in that vein, we are the LASMA. LASMA has deployed officials to fuel stations. It has been noticed that in Lagos State, for the major filling stations that are at the roadside, they've caused gridlock in the major part of Lagos State, because a lot of people, all in the anticipation or in the energy of getting full, like they just want to get it, they park recklessly. And with that, they are blocking the main road for those that have already gotten full, that are already going to their offices and their place of work or wherever it is they are going to. And it's causing congestion. Yes. So to avert that, the Lagos State Traffic Management Authority has deployed their officials to monitor traffic around filling station, so that we will not be having two issues. You know, the same way some people are queuing at the filling station that they are not even sure whether they will get full. Oh, no. At the end of the day, those people that have gotten, let them get to their destination. Don't let them burn the full while being congested in traffic.
At this point in time, we shouldn't be problems to ourselves, and we should be very, very sensitive and reasonable. Fine, it's hard. Everybody knows it is hard. But in the process of you exercising or showing your grievances, it should not be at the detriment of other people's day-to-day easy activities. Because if you park recklessly on the road, of course you are disturbing other people's movement. And we can't just keep shouting that it is the fault of the government. Is it the government that asked you to park in a wrong way, on a wrong path? So we should all be sensitive at this point in time. And then I like the fact that the last man official, their coordinator sort of actually advised landlords and tenants, people, please don't store fuel don't store it at home, and don't store it recklessly. It is very, very hard to get fuel at this moment, but they literally can get. I can't even say get the amount you would need at once. Get it. I can't even say that. But in the process of stocking it, don't even stock it at home. I don't know where else you want to keep your fuel, because it is very, very dangerous. Any spark like this, and I'm praying that we will not be victims of bad occurrences. So we have to be very, very careful, and we have to be sensitive. Don't keep fuel near fire or anything. This is not the right time to go and be keeping fuel in the kitchen or be keeping it close to kiniko. We have to be very, very safe at this moment.
You see, at the verge of people trying to be reasonable and be swerve, that kind of action, that trying to make sure they have it in excess at home. A lot of people have started storing in their houses to sell at black market. But that's not even the problem. The problem is that the IPMAN and the NLPC has told us that Nigeria has sufficient fuel. And I think after the whole NNPC regulation of price, the only thing we now know is that it is now at a particular price. Not that there is no fuel. So you will get to fuel station and you will get it. It's just that it might take a lot of time. before you get it, and that is the problem on the part of the filling station. So it's not like there's no full, there's full, but it's just the price and some people trying to be doing sodiki. So we should please make sure that when we are storing, either we store outside the house in a way, but not in the house. We cannot be tackling full subsidy, trying to fight corruption, poverty, and still fire outbreak. It's a lot. At least if there is still life, there is still hope. Still on full subsidy, federal government NLC meeting ends in deadlock, and as it now we got the report that fuel now sells for 700 naira per litre. The meeting between the federal government and the Nigeria Labour Congress yesterday was actually ended without a consensus. And according to Dele Alake, the spokesman to the President Bola Tinubu, disclosed this on Wednesday while briefing the newsmen on the outcome of the meeting. He said that the talks between the Labour Union and the government would continue at a later date. That's to tell you that we actually thought that when they have the meeting, we would be able to come to a resolution. But at the end of the meeting, it ended up that they did not get to a resolution. Meanwhile, in another news, we got to know that the NLC and some other people are blaming NNPC for releasing a regulated price without consulting the necessary body. And even with the fact that NNPC released a regulated price of between 488 to 555, we're still seeing some filling stations now selling for 700 naira and even more. And Nigerians, like I said yesterday, they are not even particular about the amount. You just want the products because it is essential. So that's why when they get to filling stations that are selling for 700 naira, Nigerians just be like, I need it, and they just have to buy it. So now NNPC is being faulted for bringing out regulated prices before consulting the basic body that they are supposed to consult with, one. And NLC's meeting with Tinubu, the president, did not work out well. So that's just to tell you that we still have to hold on because there is no any resolution as of now.
I was actually hoping that the whole meeting will yield good results. I was hoping that they'll be able to reach a consensus and all of those things. But who did to sharing your kaya faramo? And you see, if NNPC does not take an action, the Nigerian Labour Congress will still be the ones blaming NNPC that what are you people doing? You're supposed to have done something. And I feel like the regulated price the NNPC actually gave out is for the betterment of Nigerians. At least they can easily hold on to any filling station or shut down any filling station that sells above the regulated price. If there was no regulated price, anybody can say, it is my business, so I'm the one doing this. I can sell at any amount I wish. But right now that there's already a regulated price, although it is still exorbitant, however, it is still reasonable. At least it's better than people buying for 600 and above. So NLC faulting NNPC as regards the fact that they have to give a regulated price. I feel like that's not even the bone of contention. That shouldn't be a problem right now. And I just want to plead on NNPC, the federal government, and every other body. They should meet in time. They should discuss. Although the NNPC already told us that it is not scarce, it is the filling stations that actually order it. Our filling station will affect regardless if the NNPC now they've given us the regulated price here, if they still give out some what do I call it now, some orders like okay, this we've seen a lot of states that are selling
Osun State, Ondo State, Kwara State.
Yes, they are selling off some filling stations that are not selling or they are ordering. That is actually a good move. At least it will help to mitigate these whole consequences that is coming with the full scarcity. But I'm just beckoning on the federal government and the NNPC to do something ASAP, because fine, we've already agreed that the subsidy would remain. Whatever comes with it would. But then for how long? I think it is how far now. Like we need to know how far. How long is it going to take?
Okay, based on how long is not even a problem. Right now, I need Nigerians to start focusing on the fact that it would only get better. Get better in a way whereby the subsidy will continue, but that does not mean that there's no visibility of the product going back to anything like maybe 1 kilogram. That is what removal of subsidy has to do with. Normal, this is a breakdown of it. This petrol is 500 naira. They are supposed to be selling it for 500 naira. The government will now come in and say, okay, you are supposed to be selling for 500 naira. That's the amount you feel you can sell it. We will give you 300. Sell to these people for 200 naira. That's why you'll be able to get it for 200 naira. But now the government has now said no more owo iranwo, no more subsidy. So if the people that are and all that, when they do it, they check like a businessman would do, check profit from loss and everything, and they got to know that if you sell this thing for 600, that's when we'll get our gain. Go ahead and sell it. No more government intervening to say let's pay this amount. And if you look at it in time past, this thing has been favoring the rich than it has to the poor. Who has filling station is the rich. The government will be paying them. And the masses that are supposed to be benefiting, that is because of them that the government is removing the subsidy. They don't even get to be a beneficiary of this subsidy. Because we already have one person that has like 7, 8, 10 cars and will full the 3, 8, all the cars, and subsidy has been removed. From these celebrities that have a lot of cars, politicians that have a lot of cars, they still have generator. And they will full all of these. And at the end of the day, these people that don't even have anything, maybe I pass my neighbor, they don't even have Okada, they don't have NAPEP, they will be the one that will be suffering it, because the people they want to buy things from will be the ones to go to the market, they will calculate the cost of transportation, calculate this and that, and still bring it back on them. But it does not affect the rich people.
Exactly.
The rich people already have their money. Maybe you have it. You have money to buy 10, 8, 15 cars. From that money that you used to buy those cars, full it. It shouldn't be a problem to you, so you shouldn't be complaining that government is not removing subsidy. You have your money. Use your money to buy fuel. But the only pain is that see Olodudu Banjiya, election mama, and election Banjiya.
Exactly. Judging with how everything works in Nigeria, it is always the masses
that suffers.
Even if the government wants to do us good, it is the politicians that will enjoy it the most. If see at that point where Nigerians are feeling like it is just us getting about 40% of the whole ease. 60% will be going to those in power and all of those things. Regardless, whatever comes with this whole thing, at least let us enjoy it. Don't matter the tip of the iceberg, not a fair enjoy. Let it get to us. That's what I'm saying.
Because of fuel scarcity and several other things that has been on our face, we've been clouded, and we forgot that there are some people that are still claiming their mandates in the court. So the Presidential Tribunal, Tinubu APC opposed tendering of evidence from Vivas. You should recall that yesterday we said that the court has adjourned Peter Obi's case after they said that 2 of their key staffs were ill and could not be able to tender some documents. Earlier, they also said that they had several documents and evidences against the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and APC as well as INEC to prove that their mandate was really stolen. So, 2 p.m. yesterday, they had the hearing of Atiku Abubakar and the PDP case against APC, INEC, and Tinubu. So, when they got to the petition tribunal yesterday, they tendered documents that was over 219, and part of the evidence is that of the BVAS, Bimodal Voter Accreditation System, and Tinubu, APC, and INEC, through their team of lawyers, challenged the admissibility of the certified copies of printouts from the BVAS, which were brought out by the Presidential Election Petition Tribunal Court sitting in Abuja by the PDP. Atiku actually resumed the petition on the proceeding, and he filed to challenge the outcome of the February 25 election. So while the INEC actually said it is opposing to, APC opposed and Tinubu also opposed. You should recall that during the time they were trying to get the materials and all of that from the BVAS, INEC did not release the BVAS to the PDP and the Labour Party until they had the rerun of reconfiguration and they had several other elections on it, like for state election and that of gubernatorial election. So by the time they will give it to them, they've already configured it. After reconfiguration, PDP got their own material from the same BVAS. So now, INEC, APC, and Tinubu are saying that we cannot admit all of these evidences. You see, I was even stunned when I saw the ballot and everything. You know, this ballot box, this thing that the article people brought the evidences. I was like, these people came prepared. What's happening? Is it
It's not possible for the court to accept that from them.
Though the court accepted everything. It's just
They're not just
Tinubu,
going to
APC that actually said they should not admit it, but the court said they would
now,
and they had to adjourn the case.
The court accepting it. There was one. They've only got them
to check on
to
it.
check. It's not like that is what they will use in their own
verdict.
Giving their own verdict. It's not like it is a determinant to how they would or what kind of verdict the court will give. Of course, they cannot bring it and the court will say, oh yeah, that affair. What's not the essence of asking them to bring stuff in?
Okay.
Now this is it. The BVAs had already been reconfigured before you got your data. Where did you get your data from? That means every data that they got from the BVAS machine after the reconfiguration cannot be accurate. Because in the process of reconfiguring the whole thing, sincerely speaking, some data would have been lost one, and some would have even been cleared off. Judging with how some of the BVAS machines did not even work perfectly. Even the IRF portal stopped working at a point. So where did they get if they say they got all of those things from, that means the data they are bringing cannot be accurate.
Yeah, sure.
So that cannot even be a good exhibit to judge the case. Even if nobody is saying it, of course it is glaring. And you see Tinubu and APC saying the court should not accept, of course it is the basic. And if Atiku and the People's Democratic Party now says, before you people reconfigured, we already got our data, then how did you get it? Because the court did not give you access to it. So this whole thing is just kind of
this is actually for the court to judge, but I feel this case is already having its own verdict.
Yes.
I've already seen the verdict.
Yes,
but we should just have it like let it continue. Let's see what happens at the end. At least the OB party are already having people that are sick and they could not tender their documents in court. Though they will be having their hearing today because the case was adjourned to today, Thursday, and we still are waiting for. But that does not mean it will end today. We still have to push it forward, at least before the end of the administration. Tinubu meets with EFCC chairman Bawa in Aso Rock. President Bola Tinubu met yesterday with the EFCC chairman Abdul Rashid Bawa at the presidential villa in Abuja. The meeting came barely 24 hours after Tinubu directed the DSS to vacate the EFCC premises with immediate alacrity. And Bawa arrived at the villa a few minutes past 2 p.m. and was ushered into the president's office. Although we do not know the purpose, because according to Vanguard newspaper, they could not ascertain what in particular they had to call Bawa and all of that. What was the whole essence of their connection, But then what we know is that there was an issue beforehand, okay, and we had another issue here. So the first issue is the fact that, why are you laughing? You already know what I'm saying.
The whole story is just funny.
Okay, the first issue is the fact that the EFCC's office is located in a particular place in Lagos.
Yeah.
So, and the DSS had to go storm the place, block it down. Oh yeah, this is our territory.
Wait, you see the old DSS EFCC case is just very, very funny.
Okay.
And I feel like before we continue, we should just go and stay market first and come back to discuss it. Because we're all funny.
Okay, before we continue on the show, let's go on a short commercial break. After which we'll be right back. Please stay tuned.
Sweetheart. I can't afford to be late for this meeting.
Give me the same excuse every day.
I always tell you the truth every. You know I will never disappoint you.
Everyone needs a hero like Nokpa.
After Nokpa,
It is always Nokpa.
Nokpa for management of power.
So the DSS issue and EFCC issue actually got us to go sell because so EFCC office actually belongs to them, but the DSS said they actually stormed the place according to report. But when we reached out to the DSS, they said they did not go there. And in the other news, Tinubu said with immediate effect, the DSS should vacate the premises. And the next thing we will see is that EFCC chairman has to visit Tinubu. So we just have to connect the dots. They did not tell us why they met.
Yeah, of course.
In another news, we have Agakoba and some other people saying that Tinubu should sack Was it Bawa?
Bawa, yes.
That Tinubu should sack Bawa and some other people in order to give him a smooth running. Everything was here.
Because they said we do not go there. They are lying on our head. We did not go there. And the whole story that is connecting all of these cases together is just pointing to the fact that DSS actually stumped the AFCC office. And I feel like the reason they had to deny it is because they felt like and of course when we say DSS, it's not like DSS in general, even their coordinator, their commander or whatever might not even know about the fact that some of their officials were going to storm the AFCC office. Maybe that's why they had to concede, they had to lie about it.
Do you notice something?
Okay.
Unlike somebody that would have kept quiet, we have somebody that does not keep quiet. Immediately something happened, there is a response.
Okay.
Are you feeling what I'm feeling?
Wisdom.
Don't leave me.
I already got your point.
You got my point. If you don't get it, don't forget about it. I'll tell you.
Maybe you should focus.
You know when it was during Buhari's administration, we'll always, because every time when we say something or something is, even if something is happening in Aso Rock, if you ask Buhari, say,
there's somebody to confirm.
Okay, I'll ask somebody to go check. You don't understand. But this time around, something happened in the morning, and before afternoon, we already got something from the Aso Rock that's with immediate effect. So I think we are getting it. But even though I know people will say that that's not it, we are supporting it. Ogun State Police gets new PRO as Oyeyemi bows out. You know, whenever we say Alukoro Ilese Olopa ti Ìpínlẹ̀ Ògùn, Arákùnrin Abimbola Oyeyemi. So right now, Oyeyemi has actually bowed and not like he left. You know, he was redeployed to another place. So the Ogun State Police Command has got a new public relation officer for the police, Omolola Odutola. Luckily, she's a she. So Odutola's appointment actually followed the redeployment of the erstwhile spokesperson Abimbola Oyeyemi to Oyo State. So while announcing the redeployment on Thursday, Oyeyemi appreciated the newsmen, the newsmen for their support throughout his stay in office, because of course the PPRO works directly with the newsmen, the journalists, the media personnel, you know, just to make the job easy. So he applauded everyone he has worked with, and he says a very big thank you. And at least that's actually a good one. We're just trying to use that to inform you all that the new PRO for Ogun State is now Omolola Odutola. She's a very beautiful girl.
PPRO for the police, not Ogun State PRO.
PPRO for the police Ogun State.
Yeah, congratulations to her. And the fact that she's even a trained lawyer, I want to believe that in all of her doings there will be justice. It's not like they will be calling her shit, because all these PPROs, when they will say, the news will say, as at the time of filing this report, our correspondents reached out to the PPR, but they've not been picking their puzzle. How did they even put this? Responding to our text messages and all those things. So, Mrs. What's that name again? Omolola. Please, when we call upon you, please respond to our text messages and pick our calls.
She has said that, call on me if you need somebody.
And I'm actually hoping that you would have a successful stay in Ogun State. And of course, the newsmen, we the press, we are ready to work hand in hand with you. And of course, I just want to trust your judgment as regards people that you'll be arrested, because there are lots of in Ogun State. I said I don't.
We did not devalue naira. CBN. Look for my mouth to go. So the Central Bank of Nigeria has dismissed reports that it devalued the naira. Report had earlier said that CBN devalued naira from 631 naira to dollar from 461.60. It sold at the importers-exporters window the previous day. However,
Sweetheart. I can't afford to be late for this meeting.
gave me the same excuse every day.
I always tell you the truth every. You know I will never disappoint you.
Everyone needs a hero like Nokpa.
After Nokpa,
It is always Napa.
Nokpa for management of power.